7-day check-in. Let's go.
Ryan Garcia was hit with a $5,000 fine.
Ryan Garcia was fined $5,000 and given a warning of possible future punishment by the WBC for missing the mandatory 14-day video weight check. After the weight controversy put extra pressure on the fight, former boxer Antonio Tarver explained why this moment still represented Garcia's biggest opportunity. He believed this matchup was Garcia's most realistic path to winning a first world title when compared to the rest of the division. In his view, if Garcia could not win this fight, it would be difficult to see him becoming a champion later. Tarver added that while Mario Barrios is a good and solid fighter, he does not stand out as the strongest champion in the weight class.
Hey, you know what? I think it's a perfect fight for Ryan. I think when you look at the guys that hold the championships, you can look, I believe he has a chance to win this, bro, and become a world champion for the first time in his career. I think it's the perfect opponent when you look at all the other champions. If he can't win this fight, I think it'd be hard pressed for him to win a title. You know, if he's ever gonna win a title in boxing, it's a perfect setup for him, because I just believe when you look at the power of Barrios, it's not really devastating. You know, when you look at his boxing ability, he's a good fighter, but nothing really sticks out as great. You know, I just think he's a solid fighter, but I just don't think he's the best champion out there right now today. Solid fighter, has a belt, but I just don't think he has anything when you look at knockout power, extreme boxing ability, other than his heart and his toughness. You know, I don't know what else sticks out for Barrios.
Furthermore, Antonio explained that Barrios would have needed a strict defensive plan to survive the early rounds against Garcia. He believed Barrios had to avoid Garcia's left hand by using head movement and better upper body control, skills he felt were not always reliable in Barrios' style. Antonio warned that without those adjustments, Barrios could be vulnerable to Garcia's offense. He added that Barrios' best chance was to apply pressure, force Garcia backward, and trap him near the ropes to turn the fight into a tougher physical battle. Otherwise, if Garcia found his rhythm and began landing freely, Antonio felt Barrios would be in danger.
After the first couple rounds, you know, the fight gets started, he's going to have to really come in with a solid game plan. You know, try to figure out how to, you know, not get hit with that big left hand. You know, he's going to have to maybe break from the hips, so have some type of head movement, but that's some things we haven't really seen from Mario Barrios. So that's what I believe will be his Achilles heel if he's not able to put together a solid game plan and really have Ryan on his back foot. You know what I mean? We know Ryan don't have the best footwork, so maybe, you know, he can probably make him fight off his back foot, trap him, bang him out on the ropes maybe. You know, make it a real dog fight for him. But he can't let Ryan get in his rhythm, get that jab working combination punches to the body, to the head. You know, I don't know how elusive Mario Barrios can be when he's in there with an offensive killer.
From a prediction standpoint, Conor Benn dismissed any doubts, stating confidently that Barrios would stop Garcia. He doubled down on his claim, insisting Barrios would handle the fight and Garcia would miss his chance. Benn even said he'd put his money on the champion, showing complete faith that Barrios would come out on top.
You lot think I'm joking? I bet any money Barrios stops Garcia. I bet you any money. I'm not even joking. Barrios stops Garcia. He's going to fumble the bag, so I need to make my money back on him. Yeah. Barrios, any money stops Garcia. I am 100% confident.
Meanwhile, Timothy Bradley rejected the idea that Ryan Garcia would run through Mario Barrios. He emphasized that Barrios has great experience and a strong resume at 147 pounds, which is the reason he was a champion. Bradley also pointed out that Garcia's previous performance was underwhelming and said a much better showing would be required. He warned that if Garcia entered the fight at the same level, Barrios' experience would overwhelm him and turn the contest into one-sided work.
You know, look, there's not a far-going conclusion that Ryan can take out a guy like Barrios, man. Barrios is experienced. I don't give a damn what anybody say. He got a lot of experience, man. He got the best resume at 147 pounds, right? He's a champion. You got a guy like Garcia, you know, his last performance wasn't that great. I expect him to have a better performance this time around. You know, he gonna need to have a better performance, because if he brings that type of performance into the ring with Barrios is gonna eat him up. It's gonna be easy work.
Jermaine Ortiz's did not hold back and also gave his prediction on this matchup. He sided with Ryan Garcia, predicting that the moment had finally arrived for him to claim world champion status. He pointed to Garcia's signature weapon, that devastating left hook he loved to catch opponents with, as the difference maker in the fight. In Ortiz's view, that punch would ultimately be too much for Barrios to handle, and Garcia would walk away with his hand raised and the title around his waist.
I think Garcia would win. You know, I think he got that special left hook that he likes to catch everybody with, and I'll give Garcia winning. Well, he'll finally be world champion.
In an interview, Mario Barrios stated that he embraced the pressure of defending his title against Ryan Garcia as motivation to prove his worth as champion. Focused on maintaining his position in the welterweight division, Barrios revealed that his team had developed a strategy to exploit Garcia's weaknesses, demonstrating preparation alongside confidence.
I feel like, I'm going into this fight like, I have, everything to lose. I have the title. I know he's coming, with a lot to prove, but at the end of the day, I'm the champion. I'm looking to defend and, show why, I'm, the biggest threat in the welterweight division. Every weakness, that we see in his in his style.
From a strategic point of view, speaking to Mike Coppinger, Mario Barrios explained how he planned to approach the challenge against Ryan Garcia. He said his strategy was built on discipline and confidence in his own abilities, while also using the physical differences between them to his advantage as the fight went on. Barrios intended to control the pace and apply steady pressure, forcing Garcia into uncomfortable positions in the ring. By doing that, he aimed to test not just Garcia's skills but also his mental strength, believing that sustained pressure would eventually expose weaknesses and give him the edge.
When you face, explosive punches already, Manny Pacquiao, Thurman, Gervonta Davis, what do you think is the key to fighting a puncher like that?
Just using my skills, my abilities. I know he's trying to like downplay, the like size difference with this, but I think it's gonna be something he's definitely gonna feel, in the fight, and I want to go in there. I want to make him uncomfortable. I want to, test how bad, he really wants to be in there with me.
Trainer Robert Garcia believed Mario Barrios' experience and composure give him an edge against Ryan Garcia, but only if he could negate Garcia's speed and power. Garcia stressed Barrios must make the fight grueling, forcing Garcia backward and testing his endurance. He warned that if Garcia finds his rhythm and lands his left hook, Barrios risks a quick defeat. However, if Barrios imposes his will, applies pressure, and turns the fight into a war of attrition, he has a strong chance to win.
It's a good matchup for Ryan. I think Ryan has the skills, the power, the speed to actually go and become champion, but there's a few things that I see that might not be in his favor. And look, Barrios is dedicated. I know him. He's actually a good friend, a good person. And they chose him because they think Ryan has everything it takes to become champion.
A popular combat sports commentator, Showbiz, analyzed the fight, noting Barrios could win a 12-round decision by outworking Garcia. However, he cautioned that Garcia's early power could lead to a sudden knockout. Showbiz also warned that if Garcia failed to secure an early finish, Barrios' experience and composure would give him the edge in a grueling, drawn-out fight. Ultimately, he predicted an action-packed contest where momentum could swing rapidly, demanding unwavering focus from both fighters.
If it goes 12 rounds, there's a good chance for Barrios. But for some reason, I can see Ryan Garcia stopping him early. But if he doesn't, that could be a long night for Ryan Garcia. Either way, I'm looking forward to an action-packed fight.
On the other hand, Wade Plemons analyzed Ryan Garcia's training, highlighting the use of lat pull-downs to build push-pull strength. This aimed to amplify Garcia's existing knockout power, which stemmed from his lead hand's whip-like speed. Plemons questioned, however, whether this added muscle might compromise Garcia's stamina over a 12-round fight, potentially diminishing his speed and explosiveness in later rounds. The key concern wasn't Garcia's early round power, but his ability to maintain it in the championship rounds.
He's doing lat pull downs, getting really, really strong in his push-pull. Again, this is him building explosive knockout power, which he already had, but it was like whip power, right? He had like the whipping motion of his lead hand. And I think this could be a big strength of his, but it also could potentially be a detriment, depending on how you look at the situation. The biggest question mark I have is Ryan Garcia going to have the stamina to go the 12 and keep up that quick twitch, fast powerful strike, that viper-like strike that he has? That's my biggest question.
While reacting to an interview clip, Wade Clemens predicted that Ryan Garcia could score a stoppage between rounds 8 and 10. He said Garcia had shown he could carry his power into the later rounds, but he also noted that Mario Barrios was tough and had only been stopped late in past fights. Clemens pointed out the size differences between them and said the key question was whether Garcia could keep his power and stamina deep into the fight. If he could, Clemens believed it would show that the best version of Garcia had returned.
Give us a prediction. What's going to happen?
A prediction? Man. 8, 9, 10.
8, all right.
8, 9, 10.
I think that sounds. I'm going round 8.
I like that. 8, 9, 10.
Mike just straight up's like, I'm picking you. Isn't Mike going to be on the broadcast? I mean, listen, that's interesting. 8, 9, or 10. Again, Ryan does carry power late. He dropped Devin twice in the later rounds. He dropped other guys and stopped them in later rounds. Barrios is durable, man. He's durable. It took Tank up until the 11th to stop him at 140. He's now at 147. You look at both of them, Ryan is more muscular, but Barrios has the bigger frame. He's taller, longer. We'll see. Ryan does well with those guys, though. 8, 9, 10. If he can carry that power late, if he's got the gas tank and the stamina to do it, then the real Ryan is back.
Amidst the many opinions, a boxing coach, Greg Hackett, expressed reservations about trusting Ryan Garcia, citing Garcia's shaky performance against Rolly Romero, which revealed self-doubt. While acknowledging Barrios' inconsistencies, Hackett favored the champion due to his reliable conditioning and composure under pressure. In a close matchup of flawed fighters, Hackett predicted Barrios would win by decision, around 8 rounds to 4.
I mean, Ryan Garcia, I don't know if I can trust Ryan Garcia. And the last time I seen Ryan Garcia, he was losing to Rulli. No disrespect to him or Rulli, but Rulli had just switched trainers and Rulli looked really good. But Ryan Garcia showed me he doubts himself. You know what I mean? I can't gamble on a guy like that. Now, I'm going to be honest. Barrios isn't the most consistent because he has times where he should step on the gas and he don't do it. Or he has times where he should box and he don't do it. Or he has times where he should fight and he don't do it. You know what I mean? So it's a pretty even matchup. But at the same time, I think Barrios is more consistent than Ryan as far as being in shape, things like that, and keeping his cool. I think Barrios wins the fight.
By decision?
Yeah, 7-5, 8-4.
Boxing Scene reported that Ryan Garcia was fined $5,000 and warned for missing the WBC's 14-day safety deadline, which required video proof of being within 5% of the 147-pound limit. Although Garcia eventually submitted the footage, the delay resulted in disciplinary action. While the fine was minor, the warning amplified the pressure, suggesting that even small errors could have significant repercussions as the fight approached.
7-day check-in. Let's go.
Ryan Garcia was hit with a $5,000 fine and a warning of further disciplinary action after failing to meet the initial deadline for his 14-day WBC mandatory safety rule. The former title challenger ultimately submitted video proof of being within 5% above the 147-pound contracted limit for his upcoming showdown with Mario Barrios.
But there was a new twist. Mauricio Sulaiman, WBC president, informed Ryan Garcia's team that Mario Barrios met the mandatory safety requirement, but Garcia missed the deadline, resulting in a $5,000 fine. The WBC emphasized that all fighters must adhere to the rules. This late penalty added pressure on Garcia as he prepared for the fight.
But wait, there's more. But WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman informed Garcia's team on February 10th in a notification obtained by Boxing Scene, quote, champion Barrios did comply with the video of this mandatory safety rule. The WBC hereby imposes a $5,000 fine for non-compliance.
When the final bell rings, only one truth will matter, written not in predictions, but in performance. Ryan Garcia chases the title that has always felt just out of reach, while Mario Barrios fights to prove he's more than just a champion on paper. Speed meets discipline, power meets experience, and when the smoke clears, we'll finally know who really belongs at the top. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more fight coverage, and drop your prediction in the comments. Are you riding with Garcia or backing the champion Barrios? We want to hear who you've got.